Okay, so what's going on with it once again? Bros and Burns Packs is the one, and of course, Mr. Nintendo Free, Sony's Free 2011 aka Criticism Guide 2009. Of course, Nintendo and Manga back at 360, Anime Manga at 360 back again with another video again. This is part 2 of where I last left off on this Queen Trishalist MLP FIM fan fiction from fanfiction.net. This was originally from Gumbasa, so I had to keep it more down a little bit more because one of my roomies are sleeping, so I can't be as dramatic as I was before. So just bear with me there. So, oh, and I got this from like a little stride thing earlier, about a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, anyways, going back to this where I left off, I still got like 9 freaking paragraphs to read. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, here it is. Exhaustion and hunger were taking their toll on them. And she could see it now. For the first time since she has begun this warp, she had saw that he was dying. "Don't move," she said. Her normal, booming, and powerful voice dropped with something akin to a motherly instinct surrounding sound. It wasn't quite there, but was still far more concerned than the Queen had ever sounded in her life. The little changeling just took an few more breaths. In response, he attempted to open his one eye to look up at her, but it was a changeling, so to do even that, "I can't even fight." "I can fight," he whispered. "No, you cannot. You cannot do anything," she whispered. "But I can do something." She bent forward and shifted him carefully so that he could pull his body up to her back. He felt so light, so fragile. It was like there was nothing even there. With her head up high, she began to walk forward, out into the open, making the move the higher approached. They saw her coming easily, and all 3 of them were standing in attention. She kept an approach, slowing on her expression as stoic as she could. Now, sorry if I'm saying that right or not, but correct me if I'm wrong. She was already sacrificing much of her pride for what she was about to do, but she would keep as much dignity as she could. Her slow approach put them on the defensive. The glare at her with deep hatred and caution. It was nice to know she was still remembered as a threat, even after being expelled by a mere show of affection. Hatred, however, wasn't one of her favorite emotions. It was terrible when it was directed at her. Bleh. She paused in front of them, eyeing in 3. Both unicorns had created there you go, their magic, and they were preparing to blast her without a moment's provocation. I don't know how to say that word. She nodded to Twilight, only acknowledging her. "Twilight Sparkle," she asked. "Queen Trishalist," she answered back. "I thought we'd thrown you out of Equestria." I'm shitty at Twilight Sparkle's impression. I can't do it. She's on the fence with me sometimes when I try to think about her stuff. Alright, now I'm going off topic. Let's keep reading this thing. Okay, here it is. She said, "But I came back." "Indeed you have, but I came back." "Well, you certainly know how to make a speedy recovery," the white one stated. "I would have thought you'd gone by a few years after the deportation we gave you." Trishalist swallowed the retrot that was quickly bubbling up in the back of her throat. "I mustered my surviving forces to come here and take revenge," she said. She saw no point in hiding her initial intentions. As anything else, she told them that she would have sounded like with a bold-faced lie. What would have been true? Sorry, I'm a little tired right away too, so forgive me for that yawn. This is Applejack talking. "And just where do you think your forces are now?" asked the Southern with a raised eyebrow. She was bent forward, ready to lunge forward to slightly provocation. Trishalist hung her head. "Dead," she answered, turning to the side so that they might see the ragged, near-dead changeling hanging off her back. "This is all that remains of my once great army." She bent down and eased him down on the ground. He gave a few coughs, pushing against the ground, the jagged hoof, and yet another vein attempting to raise up at least in a sitting position. All it did was highlight just how far gone he was. Twilight's eyes narrowed. It's like, "A forced march," she stated, with the cold, emotionless calculator of one who was reading straight from a textbook. "You forced them to do their breaking point, did you?" "Didn't you?" And she said, "I did," she said. "And as I stated, he is all that I have left." Her eyes trailed down in the form. "Even if I wanted to, I could not take you all out now. So I ask you, please save him." And then the southerner raised her eyebrow, standing up again. "Beg your pardon?" "Was my request not clear?" she asked. "He's dying of exhaustion and hunger. Both will be cured if he eats." "You're asking one of us to feed one of us?" No, hold on, let me do that again. "You're asking us to let him feed off one of us?" Twilight asked, her horn sparkling, making Trishula's tense. "What kind of fowls do you think we are?" "I never said you were fowls," she stated. "And I never said you had to let him eat much. My plan has changed. I ask you let him just eat enough that he may live." "Why should we?" Twilight asked again. "We have no reason to trust you. We owe you nothing. Even if anything, I think we should be taking advantage of the situation and take you down and hand over your Princess Celestia so you can properly be punished over, trying to take over all of Canterlot." Alright, and shout out to fucking Tara Strong. Her shit is a billion times better than me. Voice acting is legend. Alright, let's keep moving with this story. Her voice had grown into a volume of fiercity as she spoke at the end of it, if she seemed about ready to leap at her again. Switch from the cold and logical, angry, and violent had caused the queen to go off guard so much that she took a short step back when Twilight aimed her horn at hers. "I was merely trying to." She paused, letting the statement hang in the air for a moment before shaking her head. There was no time to argue at this point, and there was no excuses to be made. Somehow she believed that telling them it was to feed her subject was a bit of a null argument, considering that she'd marched all of them to their deaths to get back here. She looked down towards the changelings again, and through him saw all of her subjects. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's really late right now. Alright. She looked down on the changeling. Oh yeah, I said that already. All those who had given up their loyalty, who had driftfully followed their bag despite their lack of resources, despite their lack of pain, all just to die for nothing. Alright, and then let's keep moving. She'd never felt this way before. Helpless, she hated it. Frustration began to set in. Frustration and what else? Guilt, sadness. Yet those sounded appropriate. Her forelegs quivered as she felt eyes stinging with tears all of a sudden. She couldn't remember the last time she cried. Not in pain, not in joy, not even in sadness. Yet now, in front of these three of her most reviled enemies, she couldn't stop them from coming. The first fell from her sickly green eyes, then an awakened Devonsmore followed. All pride was discarded now. She didn't care anymore. "Please," she begged, falling to her knees. The tears fell more quickly, and there was nothing else to keep her from quivering. Out of nowhere, of a distorted voice, "I beg of you, please, save him. I swear I will leave. I will never come back. Anything you want. I just don't want to die." Okay, that's my shitty impression of her, but whatever. Can't say I didn't try, right? Let's keep it moving. Alright. Her display shocked all three of the onlookers. Trishula, the queen of the changelings, and a tyrant who had come out within inches of dethroning Princess Celestia, and taking the land of her own, was broken down in front of them. crying and begging. Her tears streaked face turned down onwards to the poor changelings. Yet again, the white one let out a gentle sigh. He says, "Oh, this is rarity, though, or rarity, as they say in the British. I don't know. You see that you will leave and not trouble us again." "That and so much more. Please just don't let them die. This is all I have left." "Very well." I can't do that. Her and Fluttershy can't do the high-pitched shit. But whatever, I tried. She tossed her purple mane to the side. "We're here to know." The southern nurse stepped forward, putting her front hoof and preventing Rarity from moving across closer. "Now y'all can't trust them. That's why that's what our whole shtick is, trickling people." It's tricking people. "Applejack has a point," Twilight stated. "I don't like the idea of letting a changeling feed off you. I mean, we don't exactly know who. We don't exactly know if it would be any after effects." And this is Rarity. "Your brother seemed to recover quite nicely, and Trishalis was one of them feeding off of him." The queen in question tensed as she saw Twilight's face harden and being reminded of the acts committed to her family. Again, her face flicked to the changeling drone. He was barely moving now, not even trying to stand. His breath was even shallower and his eyes half lit. His lips moved and he was trying to mutter something, but no sound came out. She didn't even have the time to let him keep arguing like this. "What do you want?" she sobbed, pouring her forelips in her mouth. "And it says, anything you want, just name it, just save him," she shouted. Again, the three were startled into silence, and her outburst. She locked eyes with each of them in turn, pleading with them all her being. Rarity nodded, said, "He may feed," she said, walking past the southerner, referred to as Applejack, stopping in the front of the changelings. "All right. Provided that you keep your word and leave." "I will. I swear. To Celestia," Twilight prompted, sitting back and observing the queen to a way scientists would observe an animal they were studying. "Alma." Trishalis gulped down her pride even further through her tears, and through her disgust she forced the words to roll off her tongue. "Yes, I swear to Celestia." She turned towards her changeling, wrapping an arm around him. So obviously, because Trishalis and Celestia is like, Celestia is Jesus, and then Trishalis is the devil Satan. I don't know. I could be reading too much into it. Not physically, though. Said, "Feed," she said whisperly. "Please, little one, you made it this far. Tell me I have the strength left for that." The weakened drone shuddered as her touch, and one huge eye opened before his mouth did the same, almost in an instant. All three of the onlookers looked as he began to feed. Trishalis in delight, and the other two were someone resemblance and disgust of the horror that they had seen firsthand, just how a changeling fed off of another's emotions. It was like a sapping her out of her very soul. All he did was breathe deep, look into her eyes and hers, and he drew the emotions into some sort of eternal mist. Or eternal mist. I don't know how to say that. Trishalis noted at Twilight's horrific expression masked with an undercurrent of curiosity. Perhaps if it hadn't been a loved one, she would have liked to study this phenomenon. The effects were near instantaneous. I think that's how I said it. Instantaneous. There it is. The little drone's eyes popped out fully and pushed himself up to one leg with minimal effort. His mouth kept taking on closer to a grin. as it could with his maw still gaping. The luster returned to his dark green skin, and his wings uncurled, flittered up and down, letting out a happy little buzz comparable to the hum of a worker bee. "That's enough," Applejack, stamping her hooves against the ground in a warning. Trishulus nodded and tapped the hooves off the drone's back. He obediently broke off his connection to Rarity, who staggered back, letting out a few gentle gasps as she shook her head, shivering despite the balmy heat a spring around her. Her two friends trotted over to her, concerning. "Rarity, are you okay?" Twilight asked them, warping her hoofs around her friend's shoulders. "I feel cold," the white mane answered, shivering again. "So cold." Applejack stroked her mane up and down and said, "Now, don't y'all worry none, hun. We'll get you back to your boutique and get you something nice and new pajamas, okay? Some new nice pajamas, okay?"
"So yes, that would be fine."
Twilight turned to Trishulus.
"There you go. You got what you wanted."
Her tone was not confrontational or even very angry. It was a gentle and even now. It was a gentle and even.
"Now, please, keep your word."
"Fools," the drone said, flapping his wings and hovering up against him. "Now that you have... Oh, yeah.
Now that you have provided me with this nourishment, I'll get back to you and everything you've done to us."
That's what he sounded like in the video when I was watching Scribbler's video on it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll put the link down below like I did before. Alright, going back to this story. Alright, Trishulus waved her hoof. "That's enough."
"What?"
the changelings asked.
"But my queen,
I made an agreement," she stated. "I've already sacrificed enough for today. I won't risk what I just worked to save. Come, my little changeling. We are leaving. The changeling seemed quite confused to what she had said, but he nodded, drawing her close to his queen, but not wishing to argue his orders.
"So where will you go now?"
Twilight asked. "I don't know," Trishulus admitting, turning away. "But Equestria is not the only place where love is plentiful. We'll find a new place for you." So then you'll find a new land to conquer," Twilight said in an edge returning to her voice. "Does it look like we have any condition in any sort of conquering now?" Queen Trishulus countered. No. I think I'm through with that right now. My prime conquer is survival, and I have a lot of work to do," she sighed. "For what it is worth, I thank you, Twilight Sparkle. I thank you and your friends for taking pity on me." I see. Alright.
"I'm still not sure if what we did was the right choice," she said. "But as you said, you aren't much of a conqueror anymore. Just don't give us a reason to go second-guess ourselves."
Trishulus snorted. "You won't have to. Farewell, Miss Sparkle. Perhaps we will meet again someday."
"I hope not."
The feeling is mutual. And then the two of them left, walking back from where they came, past the apple trees and past back towards the edge of Ponyville. Once they were clear of any pony's ears, the little changeling, now hovering against his queen, cleared his throat.
"My queen,"
he began.
"I do not understand why. Did we not take advantage of their generosity and strike? While iron was hot, the white unicorn hermousas were just so delicious."
And then Trishula smiled. It wasn't a matter of pride.
"Right, Your Highness."
She nodded. Pride. Pride just pushed me not to make my own decision that cost me all but you. I cast it all away and I begged him to save you because at that moment I realized that my pride, my rage, and my lust for vengeance had brought upon me. But after I have healed you, I couldn't go back on my word. I certainly could have if I wanted to, but if I had, I would have set up myself for even a greater fall than the one of Canterlot. one that I probably wouldn't have never been able to recover from. She goes up and looked at him, and of course, from a practical standpoint, you honestly think that the two of us could have overpowered all three of them and the rest of your town. And I gotta drink my water after those. Alright, there we go.
Your might is unmatched, my queen. Celestia herself will cast down by your magnificence.
The compliment so pleased her that she decided not to point out that the only reason that she would have been able to stand against Celestia was due to the fact that the love that she had leeching from shining armor. Now her bright mood was spoiled. She felt her stomach rumbling underneath her. It must have been quite inaudible as well, because even her companion took note of it.
My queen, you yourself have not eaten in quite some long time.
I was given a small morsels here and there alongside the road as we were marching, she stated. I am probably more well-fed than you were the entire time making your way out to Ponyville. Besides, I can't keep myself from sustained with magic until we can find something with an excess of emotion.
And then what will we do afterwards?
We start over, my little changeling, she stated. We'll make our way back to our old kingdom, then rebuild. After that, she gave a short shrug and then trotted her way along the soft grass. Well, there's bound to be a plenty of places beyond the borders. Help provide us what we need, don't you think?
Oh, most definitely, Your Highness.
And next time, she promised, next time, I will never let a foolish pride stand in my way. Duties as a queen. She looked back on her shoulders, on the stumps of her wings used to be before her head towards up him. I promise. And we're getting into the end. Thank fucking God. No offense to the guys. These guys were awesome. I love who made this thing. I'll tell my whole speculation in a minute. The Little Changelings, title and head in confusion.
Yes, thank you, Your Majesty.
She just chuckled, and he was a good drone, definitely one of the best, loyal to a fault. She could only hope that one day display such loyalty to her own subjects. After all, that was what a queen was supposed to do, was it not? And it was all the author's notes and everything. You can read that there. I'll put the link down below for it. And that was the CEO author right here. The overall thoughts, views, and opinions on it was really fucking amazing. I loved enjoying trying to do this like fanfiction voice instead of doing a review all the way at the end. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna start doing that all the way at the end. So these videos are probably gonna be at least almost an hour from now on, instead of like 10-20 minutes like I normally did. This is only for the fanfiction one. All my other videos, like the video game reviews I do, and the reaction ones, the Pokemon TCG card openings, the other ones, cartoon conspiracy theory, the anime reviews, and the other MLP shit that I do a couple times. And what else? There's another one out there. I haven't done like top 10s and stuff. I haven't done that in a while. I'm going to bring that back. And then the Pokemon theories, that's coming back for sure. I will be up this Tuesday. Definitely be on the lookout for that. I can't promise you enough on it. I will do it. I've been saying that since Sunday. So tomorrow will be the third day since I said that. Oh, and I got a fresh new haircut. You'll see that in my next future video. But yeah, it was really freaking insane. It had a little bit of action here and there. I did feel bad for Queen Trishalis that she had to like pretty much go through hell and back just to save that one changeling that was loyal shit to him. She's probably gonna end up marrying him. Then they're probably gonna spawn and have sex and fuck and all that shit. Probably be in a clap fic somewhere. I'm not reading any of those though. That's way better. But yeah, I thought it was really fucking amazing. It was beautiful. Shout out to the author Gumbasa that did this, and shout out to the girl Scribbler that made the video for this. I'm gonna put both their links down below. I subscribed to a crap ton of people, so I can hear a lot more of the professional people when they're doing their reading chapters and try to get better at it. Because I used to do a crap ton of a lot of fake voice acting, even in my 90s kids days. This is before computers were computers were around, but they were crappy at that time. They had a really shitty perception. And I think it was like 05, 2006. So that's when they started getting a lot quicker, all the way up to modern standards of 2014, going on 2015 in like 4 months. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll probably get some tips and, I don't know, advice from them. I'm probably going to try to comment on a couple of them, and put all their links down below if I can find any of them. And with that said, I really like this little thing of Celestia. They did have Twilight and Rainbow Dash, so I don't know why they changed it, but it is what it is. Alright, so like I do say, peace out. Once again, bros, women, burns, and pegasisters especially. I will see you when I see you. Guys, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it collective, all that shit out there. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace the fuck out. I'm gone. I'm getting the fuck out of here. All that good shit. And of course, late saying goodbye, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See you in the next one. More videos coming soon. And of course, I will see you all next time. You guys take it easy. Stay safe. Keep it cool out there. And I'll talk to you guys another day, alright? Peace, I'm gone. Goodbye, people, and take care, everyone. And I'll see you in the next vlog, okay? I'm out. Late.